What is going on, everyone? It is February 21st, 2024. It is your midweek review. We are going to keep it short. We are going to keep it sweet. A lot of things that have occurred so far in the market. It has been a short week. With a bank holiday on Monday, we had FOMC minutes today, had a really kind of crazy back half ending to today's PM session. With regards to tomorrow, we do have at 8:30 a.m. we have unemployment claims. At 9:45 we have both a flash manufacturing PMI and a flash services PMI, and then at 10 a.m. we have existing home sales, and then at 7:35 p.m. a lot of us aren't really going to be trading then, but there is an FOMC member Waller speaking as well. And then to wrap it up, there is no news on Friday, so that's really the majority of the news for the rest of the week. Other than that, yes, but it was a crazy end to the session today. There's really nothing new or wild going on. Other than that, that's it for me. Henry, you got any questions or comments, concerns, notifications?
That's it. Just look forward to getting into the review.
All righty. Dollar. Okay, starting with dollar on a weekly, just things that I'm noting, keeping it simple. Although indices did move a lot in the back half of the session today, dollar did not. So we're kind of still on a standstill there. A couple things to note. We're delivering off of the SIBI consequent encroachment on the monthly. I have that marked out. And then I've just marked out the previous 2 months highs, and then obviously the weekly BISI that we have been trading in here. So really, only thing that I'm noting on higher time frames are the 2 previous months highs, and then the consequent encroachment of the SIBI on the monthly, and then this weekly BISI. Other than that, nothing else really to note there. We did this past week fill the entire BISI, and now we have pulled higher. So I'm just kind of starting to watch to see where this closes. Does it close above the BISI? Does it close back inside the BISI? So far, you can see weekly closure has at least respected the prior December high. So curious to see what we'll do that, but right now we're using January's high as support, so keep that in mind. And then on a daily, still not a whole lot going on here, and I'm really not paying too much attention to dollar until we displace. You can kind of basically expect consolidation until you see displacement one way or the other. As you can see, on Tuesday, we did spike lower, just like we were talking about on the Sunday call. We expected that. And if you basically look to see where the discount was, we knew that looking at either this range from this low or this low, you were looking to see price deliver inside a discount, take this as sell side liquidity, utilize this discounted array, and then from there potentially move higher. And so far we have done that. Look at the closure above equilibrium after taking sell side liquidity and the discount, utilizing this higher time frame BISI on the weekly. You can see the respect to where did we trade to. Not only did we trade to the full lower half of the BISI, but we also traded to the previous month's high, being January's high in here. So you can note that as well. Other than that, I still am not really, there's no bias for me here on dollar right now. Aside from just continuing the idea that we could go higher, I'm still not necessarily, bearish or even still kind of bullish in a sense. I am pretty kind of neutral here with regards to, it hasn't really moved yet. I need to see displacement. I'd prefer to see it, on the daily and then potentially on the weekly. But until I really see the displacement, we could do either or, right? We're coming off of a higher time frame SIBI and respecting the consequent encroachment of it. On a weekly, we're still respecting it, and we've kind of respected with regards to candle closure there too. But then on a daily, we've still maintained structure, and all we have done is just taken sell side liquidity internally with regards to the discount, right? So now we just delivered into a discount, and they're still respecting that. So in my world, I'm still kind of bullish on it, but I'm just waiting for displacement. It's just consolidating. So until I see displacement one way or the other, going to remain relatively neutral. All you, Henry.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll jump into the indices here. I'm going to keep them up together because I actually want to note some differences and some SMT that we see between the indices right now. From a monthly basis, just like we've been talking about in the morning chart and chats, there are 7 days, 22 hours left in this monthly candle here and here. So you just want to wait and see where does this monthly candle close in terms of how we can approach the bias for the following month. Okay, if you get closure above the prior month's high. It's a good indication that we can trade up into the buy side if we haven't already done so by the end of the month. If you do get closure below the prior month's high, then you have new inefficiency that's being established below on the monthly chart, and you can see price make a retracement back into that, serving as a discount array below. Same here for NASDAQ. Okay, so watching that prior month's high and seeing where the February candle closes. All right, I'm going to bring both down into weekly charts now. Okay, just like we've been talking about on ES, as long as price does not close below the BISI right here between this candle's high and this candle's low, this inefficiency, which is the separation right there. You can see how there's a body going through, but no overlapping wicks. That little separation is where we referenced last week and made the low. And as long as price does not close through that inefficiency, so you're not seeing a body close below it, then the expectation is that the buy side will still trade. Okay, so we still are maintaining a bullish bias from a weekly perspective, which means we're expecting price to trade higher from where it is now and trade up into the buy side, resting above the previous week's high. So anyone who's been short throughout this is protecting their position with a buy stop above here. So smart money can participate and become long from a discount of the range and then sell their positions to a willing buyer above this high. Okay. NASDAQ did drop a bit deeper into a discount than we saw on ES. Okay. But you can see exactly where it reached for here. Just came back to revisit the weekly volume imbalance right here. And this reclaimed BISI right there. So you can see how we referenced it once there, and then coming back to it, utilizing it as a reclaim for value gap, trading into it again there, which is where we've made the low of the week so far. Okay. So again, as long as you're not seeing price trade and close back below the volume imbalance, or even better yet, below the consequent encroachment of the weekly BISI, then the likelihood is that you're going to see buy side continue to trade. So still expecting higher prices and for NASDAQ to work up into the buy side above this high. Right? We'll drop them both down into daily charts now. Let me track that over. There we go. Take these down into daily charts. Okay. So you can see that's where we traded into today, making the low of the week so far on Wednesday. It sets up a potential Wednesday low of week profile if we are going to see Thursday and Friday reach back up toward the buy side. ES has been significantly more bullish than NASDAQ, not making quite as deep of a retracement. And what you can see here between the two indices is that you actually have an SMT as well, with ES making a higher low right here and NASDAQ making a lower low and reaching into a discount. Okay. That's the signal here that when price reaches into a discount and you have that crack in correlation like that, with ES making the higher low and NASDAQ making the lower low, we can continue to move higher off of that. So now you see ES is trading back above these arrays, being the daily BISI right here. It's also trading above this volume imbalance currently and trading back within the range of this daily BISI here as well. So back above the consequent encroachment already. And if you're just looking to premium arrays above, ES can continue trading higher up toward this high here and this high above here. As for NASDAQ, not quite as deep back up into a premium yet. We do have this daily BISI here, so I'd like to see price gravitate back above that inefficiency, and then it can be utilized to trade higher back up toward the buy side up here and up here. All right. And just like the expectations we outlined on a weekly basis, as long as you're not seeing NASDAQ come back down and close below the weekly volume balance, and as long as you're not seeing ES close below the weekly BISI, which is right here, then the expectation is that price is going to continue working higher up into the buy side, above this high and above this high. Carson, any notes here?
No, I'm all good. You know, this is a very good something to study as a trader too, is you know, watch to see going into tomorrow, because you can already see like on ES, we've already, started honestly a little bit of a run. I'm curious to see where they both trade overnight, and I'm curious to see where, because right now it looks like ES will take the buy side before NQ, and that's always a good study, is to see, if and when ES takes the buy side, where's NQ? Because sometimes you can capitalize on something like that with regards to, something like a six sister, where NQ, even though it's weaker, it still will potentially find its way to the buy side liquidity. And if you don't potentially catch a move on ES, although ES right now looks like it'll be the easier move in the more low resistance liquidity, if for whatever reason it doesn't necessarily take it when you have the opportunity to trade, you could potentially look to see if NQ follows a little bit later down the road. And if not, you might get a little bit of an SMT there. But at the end of the day, I'm all good here. Just higher time frames. That's the biggest thing I could say, is higher time frames. You got to be able to zoom out. You got to be able to be patient. And you might not have a clear eyesight of what it's doing every single day, but just as long as you remain patient. We talked about it on Sunday too. There was not a whole lot going on in the first half of the week. We had a bank holiday. There was no news following the bank holiday on Tuesday. Really, the main news was Wednesday today, FOMC, and it wasn't really until about an hour after FOMC until we got some clarity. But as long as you're patient, as long as you're waiting for these daily closures, you're going to find days following certain closures where you're like, aha, kind of makes sense. I can kind of see where we could potentially run for the rest of the week. So two things to take away, at least from something this week, especially if you've been following along closely since even Sunday, is higher time frames and patience. Even you might not have to be, and you don't have to be a swing trader, right? In any and all trading, it's higher time frames and it's patience, and it comes in different forms, and you can utilize it in different areas of your trading, but they need to be there. You need to identify higher time frames, but with that comes a ordeal of patience. I'm all good there though.
Okay, sweet. That'll close it up for me then.
Perfect. Sounds good. Finish the week strong, guys. Trade safe. Only news events tomorrow. Nothing else on Friday. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Take care. Be safe, y'all.
Peace.
In the Discord.